All right, you guys, so today we're going to be making a coil clay project, and we're using heart as a heart as our template. So clay, remember, it's that fancy dirt. It comes from the ground, and we can use it to make just about anything. I'm going to break off a piece just to start. I'm going to need my clay, of course. I'm going to need my heart template. I'm going to need a piece of fabric to roll on. I'm going to need just a tiny bit of water, a toothbrush, and a popsicle stick, and of course my fingers. So I'm breaking off a piece that's just big enough. Remember, a coil is kind of like a worm. We want to make sure that it's not too thick, not too thin. So we're going to practice rolling, and we're going to roll on our fabric. I'm going to move this off to the side, move this over. Here we go. I'm rolling this into a ball or a sphere first. Then I'm going to take it, and with the palm of my hand, I'm going to roll it into a snake, a worm, or more correctly, a coil. So I'm just taking it and rolling it. I'm trying not to get it to be too thin or too thick. And now if that happens, or maybe I'm rolling it and I get a part that's thinner than the other, break it off, squish it together, and then roll it out. If I'm noticing that my clay gets really crackly, I'm just going to take a little bit of water, put it on there, just a drop, and then continue to roll. If it's still cracking, I'm just going to keep adding more. That's just my clay saying, I'm thirsty. All right, now here's a first coil. It's not going to be big enough to go around my entire heart. That's okay. I'm just going to make as many coils as I need. So I'm going to start here at the top of the heart, and I'm going to follow that black line, and I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm just going to squish it down just a little bit so it stays put onto the paper. Here's where I can cut it off, or I can just pinch it and turn it. Now I need to roll out another coil so I can add them together. There's a chunk, rolling it into a ball, rolling it flat, into a coil. And I want to try to make it to be about the same thickness as the original coil. All right. Now I want to get these two to stay together. I have to use my toothbrush for this. This is called score and slip. Score is when you scratch something. Slip is the beautiful mud that we're going to get. So here we go. I'm scoring and slipping. You can see that beautiful mud. I'm even going to score and slip this piece right here where they're going to attach. So I'm going to squish them on top of one another, blend them in, and continue with my heart. Oops. Score and slip, blend it together. All right, so now I get to start making other little coils to fill on the inside. I have this leftover piece, so I could just use this, or I could squish it up and I could roll it out again. I'm noticing it's getting a little dry, so I'm adding just a tiny bit of water. I'm going to roll it just a little bit more. I don't want it to get too thin. If it's thinner than a pancake, that's too thin. So now I'm going to go ahead and coil this up. I'm using my fingers to kind of roll it as it goes. So I'm rolling, rolling, rolling. All right, now when I get to the end, I'm going to take that end and kind of smooth it in, just like that. All right, I'm going to put that on my heart somewhere. Kind of smoosh it in. Don't worry if you start losing your lines. I'll show you why. And I'm going to fill this up as much as I can. I want to get rid of all the white paper just inside of the heart. Have fun and experiment with your hearts too. Maybe you want to make a different shape. Instead of just a coil or a swirl, maybe you want to make a heart inside of your heart. If you need more clay, come and see me. You can always get more clay. Here I'm taking just a little bit of water to help smear the clay together to get rid of those lines. Don't use too much water or you might ruin your heart. All right, so now it looks kind of like, well, Mrs. Nugent, why did you do that? You just made a slab of clay, but watch what we can do. First of all, I want to make sure to, with a pencil, very lightly write my initials. So I'm going to really lightly write in C, N, and I'm going to give you a dot. Either 1 dot or 2 dots or 3 dots, and you're gonna put in the number of dots, just like that, right next to it. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give everybody a straw, a little bit of a straw, and you're gonna put 2 holes, one here and one here, because later we're gonna use some pipe cleaners to get these hung up. All right, now with that straw, here we go. I'm not getting too close to the edge, and I'm not going too far down. Remember, this is for the hanger. So I'm just gonna stick the straw in, give it a twist, pull it out. Stick the straw in, give it a twist, pull it out. All right, now, dun 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 dun. Check it out. Don't worry if some of your paper sticks. I'm not worried about that. In the kiln, remember, it gets super hot, about 2,000 degrees. This will bake off, that will just become ash, but your clay will stay. Next time you see this, it will have been fired and it will become what's called bisqueware. So it will become more like rock than it is mud. We don't want it to stay like mud or it will fall apart. We're gonna put it in the other room to let it dry. Then I'll fire it and you'll see it another day.